In today's episode, I like to share with you a few things that surprised me giving birth in the hospital in Germany. It has been around 2 months since we brought home our cute baby girl who is playing next door back home from the hospital. And if you ask me on the first day back home, how was the hospital experience? I was quite shocked. In today's episode, I will bring you with me to witness what happened during those 5 days in the hospital, why I was asked to run in the park many times, how I was left alone in the dark in the hospital room, how many things that they asked me to do, and how little food that I was given. It was a beautiful sunny Thursday afternoon in May. My contraction finally started, so me and my husband hurried to the hospital. Baby girl, we can't wait to see you. Be careful. Surprise number one is a painful one. It's about pro-natural. In Germany, women are encouraged to give birth as natural as possible, keeping the medical intervention to a minimum, so little painkillers. I remember on the day when my labor started, I went to the hospital, did a few checkups. As the contraction pain started to get stronger, instead of giving me the painkillers, the nurse and midwife actually decided to send me out to walk in the park. Not just once, but twice, each time for 2 hours. So 4 hours that day, in the strong contraction pain, I was walking in the park. But wow, it was not so much fun trying to find benches every 5 minutes to grab on in the middle of the night just before the next contraction starts. Ow! Because the thinking is that being active during labor time help the labor to proceed, and also it distract your mind from the pain. And also later on, when I went back after the 4 hours walk to the hospital and screamed, I want painkiller, the medical staff actually encouraged me and say, well, it looks like you're doing pretty good without a painkiller for 4 hours. How about let's give it a try and just give birth without it? Well, it was out of good intention because the less painkiller you have, the better it helps you to proceed with the labor. But I do want to say, people invented those painkillers for a reason. If you really cannot take it, ask for it. Here we are at the hospital room, and if you're lucky, you can get a room to yourself, but we have to share the room with the other patient. So on this side is my bed, baby bed, and then on the other side, across the aisle, is the neighbor. Usually you will have to share the recovery room with another mom if you're lucky, because some rooms does have more than 2 moms, sometimes 3 or 4 moms together. And you have to remember the babies are there too. So if there's one mom there, there's another baby. If there are 2 moms there are 2 other babies. It is quite difficult to recover in an environment where there's so many people. And there's no curtain in between, so basically everything you do, you will see each other. I would say a little bit lack of privacy. And there's another problem, because once you're in the shared room, your partner may not be able to stay overnight. For my hospital, the visiting hours for the dad is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Meaning that right after you gave birth, not only will you have to share the room with a stranger and the stranger's baby, but your partners will have to say ciao, goodbye to you after 8 p.m. You are left all alone there by yourself with your newborn baby. In Germany, you cannot reserve a family room even if you're willing to pay. You will have to wait on the day after your delivery, not the day you enter the hospital. So after your delivery, then you can check with the hospital, is there any single room available? But here is a little trick that I found from a friend, that there are additional insurance you can purchase which give you a priority to get those family room. So it's totally worth the money.
The hospital that I stayed at was part of the Baby Friendly initiative by the WHO and UNICEF.
So in the hospital term, baby friendly means that the hospital supports the mom to do breastfeeding. It provides the technical and also tools to the new moms to make sure that during the time you stay in the hospital, you learn all that you can and you form that bonding, form that habit with your baby.
In the hospital that I'm staying, it is highly recommended that mother and kids stay 24/7 together. Therefore, the baby bed is here, and it's recommended that mother and baby have the skin-on-skin connection. So, baby is here with me. And additionally, it's highly recommended that moms start to produce milk, even though the first few days, usually mom's milk is not sufficient, but the hospital has provided the pumping machine to get mom's breast ready or stimulated to welcome the new milk. As mentioned, the hospital really help moms to get into breastfeeding, and the couple of useful tools that they use includes, first, the nipple shield. And as the name suggests, this is a shield that you put on the nipple to help the baby suck onto the nipple better. But also be careful, because I heard from a few friends that once the baby is used to sucking on your nipple, drinking from the breast milk using the shield, you might always have to use it. And another surprise that I found out while at the hospital is that baby typically lose weight right after they are born. And the hospital will not let your baby leave if the baby lose more than 10% of the weight. Therefore, in case none of the tools work, then you do have to feed formula milk, but there are different ways to feed it. For example, feeding it using the tube. And the benefit to this is that while you're using the formula milk, you put the tube next to your nipple so that baby still feel that he or she is drinking from your breast. So later on, when your breasts start to produce milk, you can easily transition to that your baby drink directly the milk from the breast.
This one I do have my doubts, because I do feel that right after giving birth, the mommies are very tired, and having the baby together 24/7 does help with the bonding, but it didn't give mommy the time to relax at all. And for mommy to have enough breast milk, having some sleep is quite important, making me wonder if baby friendly means mother not friendly. Comment down below and let me know, what do you think?
Good morning. It is 8 o'clock. It's another day in the hospital. Let's have a look at what we have for breakfast today. And that's it. Dun 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 dun. 2 rolls and then jam and butter with juice and a cup of hot tea.
So at the hospital, they really provide the simple German food, meaning that breakfast and dinner are typically cold, and meaning that there are breads, 2 rolls, and if you're lucky, a little cheese or a little jam. That was it for breakfast and dinner. And lunchtime is the one meal that is the hot meal. So I would say that if you are a foodie or if you really want to make sure you enjoy some good food, maybe ask family and friends to prepare the food for you. I would say each of the things is not that bad, but then when you combine them all together to a newly cut open mom from C-section and a new mom who cannot see her husband at nighttime but given the baby for 24/7 and having bad food, a lot of things adding together make it quite difficult. Thank you so much for watching today, and if you like this channel, make sure that you click on subscribe and turn on the notification and leave me some comments. I will see you next time.
Today is a very, very happy day because after 5 days staying at the hospital, we are finally going home.